How do you guys talk to your own friends about mental health?
I guess I check up on my friends, isn't it? I guess there's not, you won't maybe not phrase it like that, like, how's your mental health? I'll be like, what are you saying, bro? You good, yeah? How's your day going? Everything all right? And I guess with guys, I think it's good to approach with humor, like
Yeah.
making it funny, making it kind of not too serious. I think if you kind of come to your friend like on a kind of serious one, most guys will just laugh in your face sometimes. If you kind of joke about it, I think people open up more, definitely. Humor, and I think that's the way a lot of guys deal with it.
Right.
For me, basically, with my friends, I'm just honest. I'll be honest with them, and I always tell them to treat themselves like somebody. Because a lot of times, especially with men in a society where our mental health isn't really sometimes looked at, and even suicide rates, like mental health is really high. I mean, for suicide rates, men's suicide rates
Yeah.
are really high. And I tell my friends that the way you check up on me and the way you check up on other people, you should treat yourself like somebody. Don't allow darkness to affect your life. Try and make sure that you do stuff, even just doing therapy. Like a lot of men look at down on therapy because they think it's like emasculating them, and it's not right and strong. But I think actually speaking out and just being truthful with yourself is more strong and shows who you really are.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say. I'd say just be true to yourself and treat yourself like somebody.
I really like that. And two kind of like different ways to talk about it, but obviously two very important ways as well. What does mental well-being mean for you personally?
Well, well, I don't think it's about being happy all the time, but it's about not having things that limit your life, limit your kind of what you feel comfortable doing in your life. Like some people I know, they're very kind of open and they're able to kind of go with the flow and be quite flexible. I'll go try this, I'll go try that, I'll go to this event, go to that event, meet these people. Why not? Kind of your options in life, I guess, are quite broad, and your enjoyment of those options are there. But then some people, when you're not very flexible in your life and you're quite rigid and you won't do certain things, and I guess for men's mental health specifically, there is, I think, an added thing of not being like a strong man or not or appearing weak. That's definitely a factor that kind of limits some men 100%. And I think that is, again, I think what having good mental health is kind of being flexible and being aware of kind of what limits you. And it's not about, again, I don't think it's about feeling happy all the time. I don't think it's that at all, but it's being able to just enjoy life and make the most of life. And if you're what a lot of people, what actually gets in the way of them living life is nothing physical. There's nothing, no person stopping them to think stuff for them. It's something going on in here. So it's the fact of being able to enjoy what's in your life and be open to living your life, basically. Just being able to get on with your life. And I think if you
Full
don't have
spectrum.
exactly, and if you don't have, and if you exactly, and if you don't have good mental health and you aren't able to kind of process some stuff, you won't be able to live your whole life, and you miss out. And I think then the regret comes later, and then that just kind of makes it even worse. I think it's just about being able to experience as much as you can and enjoy it while you're experiencing it, basically.
Preach that. Yeah. Do you have anything to add?
For me, I think you explained it perfectly well. But for me, I would also say, kind of adding on to what Max said, is don't chase happiness because it's temporary, and chase peace. A lot of time we focus on trying to be happy, but happiness is a feeling that goes up and down, and sometimes we're happy, sometimes we're sad. So when we're kind of searching for something that can't actually sustain for a long period of time, it tends to leave us in a kind of a place where we don't feel fulfilled. Also, kind of just understanding yourself and understanding what works for you. Like taking notes, seeing how you feel when you do certain things. Just try to find the things that you see have a positive impact on you. A lot of the time, we look at other people, see what they're doing, and think, oh, that brings them joy, that brings them happiness. So I'll try to do it myself. And then when we actually do the thing that they do, we realize that doesn't work for us. I think it's just kind of like understanding yourself and seeing what works for you and brings you peace and makes you feel like more of who you really are is kind of the most important thing. It's like just find out what works for you and don't try to compare yourself to do what other people maybe do.
Yeah, sure. And what does that look like for you?
For me, kind of doing what does for me is, I know we're in a generation where a lot of people go out, a lot of people do this and do, and I think that's completely fine because that's what people like to do. But for me, when I try find stuff that works for me, I journal. So if I find something that I enjoy, I'm like, okay, cool, I make a note of it and realize that's something that sometimes, because naturally everyone has moments of being down. So when I have my moments that I'm down, I'll look at the journal, see what things bring me peace, bring me happiness, bring me joy, and kind of go find and do those things. And also just being open and creative, just doing stuff. Like I just did 7 months abroad traveling on my own.
Oh, nice.
And just going to places that you haven't been before, experiencing new things, I think brings so much happiness. And I think sometimes we're scared to try things that we haven't done before because we're scared that we might fail. But no matter what, we're going to be judged. So be judged for being someone you want to be instead of being judged for being someone you don't want to be. So that's for me what I would say.
That's very true. It feels like you thought about this before.
Yeah.
You know exactly what to say. What about you? Where do you get your strength from?
Oh, definitely my family, mum and my dad. I've been very blessed to have kind of good people around me in my life who have kind of I've been able to learn from their mistakes, and they've kind of guided me in the right direction. So I think I've been just blessed, very, very blessed with my sort of setup from young. Also, just like loads of my uncle's a kickboxing coach, hard as nails, loveliest guy you'll ever meet in your entire life. And I think growing up around things like that kind of taught me like you don't have to put this like tough guy act on, because he'd be beating me up every week and then dancing to reggae music and stuff. Like, I was just like, all my life I was like, so all these guys and growing up in school kind of trying to act tough, trying to get into fights, this and whatever. And he would tell me, if you see even the chance of a fight, leave the area, and he can beat anyone up that he wants to. I was like, oh, this is actually stupid.
Yeah.
It's actually stupid stuff, and it's not like all that kind of being man stuff. It's just bollocks, man. So definitely, it's good influences. My mum, my dad, a lot of my family. Just I think I've just been like, I can't take a lot of credit for it. I just think I've genuinely been just so blessed with the people in my life. I think it's hard if you haven't had that example. It's hard. It's really, that is difficult. But I have the most respect for those people, the ones who maybe didn't have the best example, but overcome that.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what I think is. Yeah.
Did you have anything else to?
I was going to say I'm exactly the same. I would say I'm the way I am because of my father. My father, from young, has always been open with me, been vulnerable, not been scared to show his true self. And I think that has allowed me to then be comfortable to kind of express my emotions, express my feelings. And as you said, it's different for the people that don't get that opportunity, they get that experience to have like those open male figures in their life. It's even more difficult. So when, they do overcome it, it just shows amazing strength. I would definitely say having like family, especially other male figures who are open as well, definitely helps.
Because you're now being the role model for like your friends or people who may not have had that.
Complimenting someone, I say, would definitely help make my day, because knowing that something I said has a positive effect on someone else, whether whatever type of compliment may be, but just having like doing something that benefits someone else definitely probably helps me feel better about myself, because then I feel like, okay, at least I've done something where I've spread a bit of kindness, even if today I haven't had the best. Work is work. Work is work.
Okay, I've got one more question actually.
I remember what I was going to say. Making someone laugh. When you're at work, something stressful going on, if you just try and crack a joke, take the piss out of it, you kind of realise you stop getting in your head and stuff, and then you're laughing, and then you still have to do the thing, but you're doing it with a smile on your face. You're having a good mood. That's the kind of thing when you're kind of in that kind of mode. I'm stressed about this, I'm stressed about that. If I see someone like that, I'll try to make a joke. They're smiling, they're a little bit more relaxed. It's still going to be hard what I have to do, but
Yeah, because we're coming at this from a female perspective, talking to men. So like, our friends, brother, uncle, dad, whatever. What helps you to open up personally? So say if someone in your life were to come to you and chat to you, what would help you to feel more open?
I guess there is definitely stigma about men opening up. I do think that's true. I think it depends. Like, I'm with my friends, we're quite open, I guess. But I guess other friendships is not that. And if you haven't grown up around that, again, that's even hard. Like, my family quite open and stuff. But I think it's knowing like you're not going to feel judged, or you're not going to feel lesser, right? I think for some guys it's easier, some guys it's harder. But if it's harder for them, again, I think it's making them feel more comfortable, making them feel it's okay. Because a lot of guys if you're not used to doing it, you don't even know what it means to do that, or what that actually involves. Yeah.
And how do you make someone else feel okay to open up then?
My answer for both questions, I'll say the same. Patience and letting them speak. Because I feel like a lot of the time when someone might be opening up to you, we tend to cut in to try to say something, say this, but sometimes just letting someone get their thoughts out and just say how they feel, and then letting that kind of soak in, and even sometimes letting them think a little bit first. Just being patient with them, allowing them to understand that there's no rush, take everything at your own speed and do what you need to do. I'm here to help you, and then eventually, you kind of give your help. And I'll say that probably works for me as well. If I'm going to open up to someone, which I don't really have an issue with, I can open up, especially like my parents, and that's why I feel like I'm very blessed to be able to open up parents. I know a lot of people can't really do that because their parents doesn't allow that space for them. But for me, it's just kind of patience, just letting me think before maybe I speak, giving me the moment and letting me get my thoughts out, and then something else. I'll just say patience and understanding, I think, are the most important things, because for a lot of people, they don't really know what they're feeling even when they're trying to explain it. So if you're just patient and let them kind of put their thoughts into words, then I think that's the best way to do it.
I think that's so true. Thank you so much.